Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Today is a day most people spend cooking out, going to the lakes, spending time with family and friends. Many do not ever think about the true meaning of Memorial Day. Francis Walker says, "We come not to mourn our dead soldiers, but to praise them." Today I want to talk about duty, sacrifice, honor, and courage. Reverend Billy Graham said, "Courage is contagious. When a brave man takes a stand, the spines of others often stiffen." Memorial Day was first observed on the 5th day of May in 1868. It was called Declaration Day because it was originally dedicated to those that had served in the Civil War. In 1968, it was moved to the last Monday in May. Today, I want you to know, everyone standing here and those that can stand no longer, to know that your duty, sacrifice, honor, and courage will not be forgotten. I stand before you a very humble man. Because of you, those living and those already laid to rest have stood strong from the founding of this great country, from the battlefields to the home front. You have never forsaken this great nation. You left your home, your loved ones, to guarantee that this United States of America would be free. For that, I am truly grateful. All too often, this nation fails to remember those that have given their all and those that have been scarred both physically and emotionally because of their commitment and sacrifice that was made for this great country. St. Augustine said, "The purpose of war is peace. War and the threats of war are ever present, and the United States Armed Forces will always be ready to fight for the rights of all Americans. You are part of that honorable group of soldiers that even protect those that burn our flag and degrade our country. Heroes like you have paid the price for freedom so that all Americans can remain free. Just as soldiers believe in this country, I believe that all Americans must support our troops in this battle for freedom. We should be at their side in good and bad times, for without these brave men and women, we would not have the freedom to stand here today. Together, we can outnumber those that would disgrace our flag, our soldiers, and our country." Our late President, John F. Kennedy, said, "Let every nation know, whether it wishes us well or ill, that we will pay any price, bear any burden, meet any hardship, support any friend, oppose any foe, to assure the survival and success of liberty." Together we can make it clear that we are proud to be Americans and that we stand united, shoulder to shoulder, with our soldiers to rid those that seek to destroy America and take our rights away. At the end of World War II, our nation celebrated and praised the returning soldiers, as they should have. It was a time of togetherness for the entire United States. As soldiers made their way to their homes and to their loved ones, life was good. but there were those that never returned, and for their family, a void that would never be filled. Those soldiers paid a price for me so that I would have the right to attend school, to gather information and discuss issues of the world, but most of all, be able to pray. I am so grateful to all the men and women that fought and those that died so that I, my children, and their children could be free. President Garfield stated, "For the love of country, they accepted death." As a child, I, like most young boys, played soldiers. I had a G.I. Joe. I can remember when planes broke the speed of sound. And I also remember those that were going to war. But at this time, it was a country called Vietnam. I had an uncle who meant a lot to me. We spent a lot of time together. He joined the Army in 1960. In Christmas Day, 1967, my dad told him he didn't want him to re-enlist. But my uncle was in for the retirement, and that retirement was just dreams. After his re-enlistment, he was sent to Vietnam and never returned. I know that there are many that can tell the same story of loss, excuse me, of loved ones. But that is what war and freedom are about. You cannot have one without the other. Those that have stood against terrible odds and the chance of loss of life should be held in high regard and given praise every day. I am a teacher, and I'm very proud of my students, as they all know how I feel about the flag and all the sacrifices that have been made to keep it flying safe and strong. My students stand tall every morning as we hear the national anthem and recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I believe that all students would do the same if their teachers would instill in them the privileges that we have because of the flag, to take the time to tell them what has been given and the cost that has been paid, that they can sit in our classrooms and have the opportunity of freedom. Children will listen, and they should know about those brave people like you standing here today, those that have already paid the ultimate price for freedom. I believe we can change the views of people, but we need to start with our children and help them build strong civic pride, with the understanding that freedom came with a very expensive price tag, that being the lives of those who stood strong. In 1776 it was written, "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, and that they are endowed by their Creator with certain rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness." These were mere words written by men, but they have been guaranteed by our armed forces with their willingness to fight to preserve the rights to all that call the United States of America home. It's not hard to look around and see how many heroes are here today. But as I close, I would like to mention one very special hero, Lieutenant James Gardner. For those that know his story, and for those of you that do not, to say that this man was brave would be a major misunderstatement. You see, because of Lieutenant's gallantry, his platoon overcame a superior force. He gave his life that day, but because of his valor, many others survived. There are so many stories that could be told. I have but one last statement. I want to thank each and every one of you veterans that are here today, and those that are here no longer. Because of you, I have the rights and the freedoms that I enjoy every day. To share the words from Trace Adkins' new song, let's say a prayer for peace, because they can't come home till the last shot's fired.